What's up, everybody? It's Brandon, and I'm back with another Top 5 Thursday. And I got to tell you, Jacob, how do you keep getting these top fives, man? You keep giving these submissions at the right time. It seems like every time you put one in, I'm like, damn it, it looks like I'm doing Jacobs again. I feel like I almost got to spread it around, man, because you've been on a roll. But you had brought up doing top five basketball players. Since I posted a GIF, of course, if you don't know how this top five thing works, I usually post a GIF or just a fucking, regular post saying, give me top fives to do. And whichever one I pick that is under that post ends up being my top five, people. And Jacob, considering I had a GIF of Kobe saying he had 5 rings, I said, give me your top five. And Kobe was like, 5. Next thing you know, Jacob says, do top 5 basketball players. To which I'm like, Jacob, this is a damn movie group. But you know what? Every once in a while, it's kind of fun to switch it up. So, in light of that, I think I'm going to do top 5 basketball players. Also, because before I did this podcast, I was on another podcast with my co-host and cousin Josh, and that is where we talked about sports. So, I'm going to dig into my roots a little bit here. And I'm also, feeling that we should do this because, we're about to be in the NBA Finals here. So, let's have some fun and switch it up. Some might love that, some might not. Either way, maybe tune in, maybe don't. Maybe you'll love it. We'll see. And also, another little thing I'm doing. I don't exactly feel right doing a top 5 when it comes to NBA. I don't. When I'm ranking players, it's always a top 10. So, yes, that's right. This is going to be the second, not top 5 I did, top 10 I've done. Because I'm going to change it to a top 10. Yes. And also, one more thing. Usually I do my favorites. This is going to be what I feel, there's always some instance of preferability or bias, whatever you want to say. But what I feel in my heart of hearts that I think are the 10 best basketball players ever lived. Again, not my favorites, who I think are the 10 best. So starting at number 10. This is a guy that I left off my list for a long time. But guess what? He's back on it. Bill Russell. At some point, the rings have got to mean something. Now, I know sometimes... Now, he's got some gaudy stats. But for back then, the stats they were putting up, maybe someone that's going to show up on my list a little later on, the stats were not as gaudy. Today's standards, the rebounds he was pulling down... Everything he was doing, great. But he didn't, jump off the page scoring-wise for back then and what people were doing. But at the end of the day, he was still a sensational defender. And at the end of the day, you got to give the guy his roses, his flowers, all that shit. Because guess what? At some point, rings do have to matter. Now, even though back then... I forget how many teams were in the league. I think it was like 8 teams or something. So, that helps your chances. You don't have 30 to go against, or I should say 29 to go against, because, you're one team out of the 30 or one team out of the 8, whatever it is, what have you. Still, to just consistently every year win that shit, and you're the star of that, he might not be in the top 5, but damn it, man. We got to show some love with the guy with the most rings. I'm going to put Bill Russell at number 10, damn it. Number 9. I did write this down. I didn't think I'd have to look, but I am blanking. Oh, another big man. Hakeem Olajuwon. Hakeem Olajuwon, people. People don't forget how good this motherfucker was. It wasn't even the fact that he was just a big guy. It was a big guy with that much fucking skill, dude. The footwork in the paint. Everybody's seen the highlights where he goes this way, fakes this way, gets dude to hop up, lays it in. That's one of his more popular ones. But he had people jumping around. He got people with pump fakes. The moves this dude would pull off. The footwork for a big that is that big, immaculate. It's unheard of. He was amazing. And I got to tell you this. How about one of those titles, dude? He won one of those titles against a team. Not against a team. Obviously against a team, but with a team that wasn't necessarily that star-studded. Most teams have just a wrecking crew when they win. I mean, you can go down the list, whether it be like LeBron teams, the Warriors, fucking Spurs when they're winning it. There's always a group of guys that's like, damn, this is a squad. One of the other teams that you can compare it to, Dirk Nowitzki on the Mavericks when they beat the Heat. That's not the type of team that normally wins. The Pistons when they beat the Lakers. That not the type of team that normally wins. Hakeem Olajuwon had a team similar in comparison to that. And to get that done, plus all the great footwork and everything else he did, impressive as all get out, man. Hakeem Olajuwon at number 9. At number 8, we're going to go with Larry Legend. Yes, a white guy playing basketball made my top 10. All right, that's all you need to say about that, right? I'm sorry, man. White dudes don't get their credit. And you know what? They probably shouldn't, because they ain't on the level. Just look around the league, man. It ain't like a thing where we being discriminated out of it. We just ain't got the athleticism like that. We better be able to shoot some threes. It's few and far between. Now, my boy Luka coming up in here and showing some shit. But come on, man. Larry Legend, just the fact that he was able to dominate to this degree being white, I'm sorry. I think that is something that props you up, because we don't see that too often. Call it what it is. Another thing about Larry Bird, it wasn't just the shooting. It was the monumental trash talking, the way he would get in your get in your head. I mean, come on. And another thing about Larry Bird that people tend to forget or just don't know about for some reason. It's not highlighted. He is one of the best passing non-point guards there ever was. I'm not even playing with you. Go look at some highlights if you're not on that shit. I'm talking no looks, behind over the head. I mean, dude was out there dropping fucking dimes. And imagine if they shot the 3 like that back then, like they do now. God knows how many threes this dude would have rained in. Dude won a 3-point shootout in a jacket. Come on, Larry Bird is in the top 10 at number 8. Number 7, we're going to have to go with the RIP Kobe Bean Bryant. Now, Kobe, I got to tell you, most of his career, I was not a big fan because he didn't really play my style of basketball. But that didn't mean he didn't wow me at times. And although he's not one of the more efficient guards on this list or in general, when we're talking about like superstar guards, he had some low shooting seasons and he never shot 50%. It didn't matter. And I'll tell you why. The reason why, and so many people harp on that type of shit, is because of how hot he could get. Now, sure, he'd have a game where he'd do his numbers, where he'd go 8 to 24, Kobe's 2 numbers. But then he'd come back and drop 60 on your fucking head. Now, for me, I always preferred efficiency, but something I learned over time that was so great about Kobe is once he did get going, you'd sacrifice a couple games here and there, but once that fucking shit heated up, nobody got hotter than this fucking guy. When Kobe was on fire, nobody was better than him in history. The best version of Kobe Bryant, I think, is better than any player in history. And then you want to know why? It's that Mamba mentality. He'd fucking have a game where it felt like he's shooting you out of it. But guess what? Game 2, if it's like the fucking playoffs, he's about to shoot the other team right the fuck out of it because they're like, good God, this man is a fucking blowtorch. And I think for that alone, and so many other things. 5 rings for fucking example. And how many fucking big shots has he hit? Amazing, amazing player. You can't say enough about Kobe Bryant. It's a tragedy that he's not with us. But for that alone, though, like even strip everything else, I have never seen somebody. This is why he could drop 81. This is why he could drop 62 3/4. This man, when he got going, and you saw him biting that fucking shirt, and you saw everybody else, they was like, oh shit. And I genuinely think other teams would play worse. Even if he was having an off night, the other teams would play worse because they were terrified that it was going to be one of those Kobe nights where he would start balling the fuck out. Fear that man. Good Lord. R.I.P. Kobe at number 7. Number 6, one of Kobe's teammates, Shaq. Jesus Christ, Shaq. Why does Shaq make the top 10, Brandon? The 4 rings for sure help. But let's just put it this way. Shaq's prime, when he was with the Lakers, with Kobe, when they fucking won those 3 straight rings, and he wasn't quite in shape like he was in Orlando. He had that like huge frame. Maybe he was a little chubby, but he used it to fucking push people out of the way like they were little fucking ants and he was stepping on them. That fucking Shaq, before he went a little too off the deep end and got older, you know, before his last stop with the Heat, and even before then, because that's where it started fading, that Lakers fucking Shaq, you know which Lakers Shaq I'm talking about, that was the most dominant prime ever for any player. Holy shit. The 3 finals they were in, he averaged like 36 and 15, like in all 3 of them. It was just whereas Kobe would get going and you'd be like, Jesus Christ, how do we stop this guy from shooting? When Shaq was bullying you, he was just dunking. You chuck it down to him, it wouldn't matter. He just boom, 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 fucking lower that shoulder into you, and you were gone. He was dunking on you. He was just going up. It was like I was watching, even at a young age, I realized that. It was like I was watching people in the NBA play with high schoolers. They just didn't look like they could match up. It was, I can't, you'd have had to seen it. If you don't watch basketball and you're watching this for some reason, Shaq, when he was dominating and he was bigger than life, it never looked fair. And never in my life, that stretch of time, have I seen a player where it looked that unfair. Shaq, got to be on the list for that prime stretch alone. But, I mean, he's got other shit. People forget how he was on Orlando. In Orlando, sometimes he'd bring the fucking ball up and cram it on the break. Dude is ultra skilled. One of the better passing bigs, too. Does not get enough credit for that. Shaq, you got to be on the list. At number 5, another big man. And this is another reason why I feel like I have to throw Bill Russell on, because he would always beat this guy. Wilt Chamberlain at 2-4 finals record. Wilt Chamberlain. I mean, dude, what was it? He said he smashed like 5,000 girls, had sex with like 5,000 girls. For that alone, you get on the list. I'm just playing. No, I mean, you did a movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger. For that alone, you get on the list. No, I mean, Wilt, for sheer stats, I don't care about the time he was playing, none of that shit. The stats are so overwhelming. When stats are that overwhelming, you're averaging 55 points a fucking game, pulling down 20-something boards. I don't give a shit if you say the time was inferior. Okay, so what, he averages, what, like, even if you cut those numbers in half, they're fucking ridiculous. Holy shit. It sounds made up. It sounds like a video game. 100 points in one game. It makes no sense. I'm not hearing it. Wilt's got to be on here. He was a freak of nature. A freak of fucking nature. The stats, they're just too much, man. I can't not put Wilt on this list. It's otherworldly. All right. At number 4, why the fuck did I... I read that as... I was like, Mark Jackson. Like the commentator and the old coach. Like, yeah, he used to play basketball too. Yeah, not Mark Jackson. that says Magic Johnson, Brandon. I literally thought, Mark Jack with a straight face. No, I'll respect Mark Jackson. He could ball, but in the top 10 list, come on now. Not even a top 10 point guard list. Get the fuck out of here, dude. Top 10. Jesus. Magic Johnson. The versatility. For him to be that size and still be what I consider the best passer in NBA history, Magic looked like a fucking center. Or power forward at least. Come on, man. And this dude's bringing the Showtime Lakers, running the offense, making it seem like it's just effortless. Nothing. It's not supposed to be that way. You know it is that way because you see players today, somebody I might mention soon, but also because of Magic Johnson. The way he had that handle, the way he'd run the break, the way he'd make these passes look so fucking effortless. It's just ridiculous that somebody at his size is what I consider, what many people consider, the best point guard to ever live. And then again, the versatility, he could use that size. We saw what he did filling in for Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I think it was his rookie year in the finals. Put up like 40-something points playing as a big. I mean, come on, man. You can't be the best point guard in the world ever. Like I said, many people consider. But you can switch to the center position at any given time and be the best center in the league. It's stupid. It's stupid when you think about it. Now, it didn't always look the flashiest. The passes did. The scoring didn't. But when fucking Magic wanted to score, he could score, man. He just was the ultimate facilitator. Magic Johnson, got to be at number 4. And at number 3, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, the guy I was just talking about Magic filling in for. I mean, come on, man. The most unstoppable shot. The hook shot. Nobody had a shot in history like Kareem. And he fucking wrecked people with it all the way to being the NBA's all-time leading scorer. If you want to even go deeper, which I'm only including pro careers, what he did in college, Jesus Christ, don't even get me started on those accolades. I mean, he's just accomplished. Pound for pound, from top to bottom, he might be and probably is the most accomplished basketball player to ever live. Come on, man. And once again, a little off the court credit that actually doesn't count. I mean, he was in a movie with Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee trained him. Yeah, he gets pluses there. But in general, dude, he just super skilled for a big. He played for years. I mean, you couldn't stop this guy. He didn't just burn out. He kept transforming his game. His fucking name changed. He went bald, and he's still in the league with goggles. Just damn it, this guy's been wrecking the league with that hook shot for so long. Will this guy ever go away? No, dude. Kareem, fucking go out there right now. I bet he hits you with a couple hook shots. Go up 4-0, and you'd be like, I'm in fucking trouble. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar at number 3. At number 2, LeBron James, the kid from fucking Akron, dude. LeBron, gotta be in your top 3 somewhere because it's astounding. If you look at the playoff stats, Jesus Christ. I mean, there's always the argument of like prime or like how good is he in this moment, blah, blah, blah. There's something to that longevity. Again, I was giving much credit to Kareem for that same thing. The longevity in which he does this shit. I think he's first in playoff points at 7,000, and the next closest is like 5,000. And he's just building on that resume, has the 4 rings, of course that helps. And again, as far as stats go with Wilt, the seasons that were otherworldly, LeBron's going to have the stats and does already have the stats that are otherworldly. You look at his career right now, you're like 4 rings, just he's fucking almost got the ultimate triple-double, is on pace to be number 1 all time in scoring. It's just ridiculous. He's the ultimate all-around player, what do you need me to do guy. And his availability, so fucking insane. Even this year, I mean, look at the Suns in the finals. I'm not taking anything away from them. LeBron still could have had a chance to get it done against a younger squad that's never been there outside of Chris Paul, but it's not like Chris Paul gets far in the playoffs. But yet and still you see him, like if they would have had Anthony Davis, and now Suns might be the favorite to win it all. So maybe that first round exit didn't look so bad. So maybe even the Lakers could have won this year. And then he might have had 5. Holy shit. How many final strips? I mean, it's just stupid. It's stupid. It truly is. It's fucking stupid. LeBron James is stupid. Been following him his whole career. It's stupid. It truly is. Even the worst thing the people that try to get on him about is he's not clutch, and he leads everybody in clutch playoff shots when it's time to be the clutchest. Yeah, that's the type of shit we're nitpicking, people. He's that good. Number 2, LeBron. But as good as LeBron is at number 2, there's somebody still better for now. No, I don't know if I'll ever pass him. It's tough. It's tough. Michael Jordan has to be number 1, dude. You don't even need to listen to me. Just go fucking... Before I loved LeBron, I loved Iverson. And before I loved Iverson, I loved Michael Jordan like every other kid. My room used to be decked out in bullshit. I remember... I just realized my room used to be decked out in bullshit. Yeah, it's decked out in bullshit right now. Look at all this bullshit. But Bulls space shit, different type of bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it was decked out. I had a book where you remember those old ass books where there's like a little hole in it, and inside a little hole you can cut out a picture of your face, so now you're like the character in the book. I had that with like a Bulls book. It was like me filling in for Michael Jordan. I'm over here at like 5 years old, like, man, you think I could do it? My parents are probably like, yeah, of course, do anything you put your mind to. What the fuck, is he serious? Yeah, it's crazy shit. MJ, everybody wanted to be like Mike. It's not even just the game, it's the aura the impact and imprint he put on the game. The Jordans, the tennis shoe. Yes, the fucking tennis shoe. Just like Magic and Bird did. The imprint he put on the game. The legacy. The perfection of 6-0 in the finals. It most definitely means something. The big shots. All the clutch buckets this man made. He was insane. Even before he was fucking winning the finals. Dropping 63 against Larry Bird and them boys. Yes, Michael Jordan, which is still a record, by the way, in playoff points. When Michael Jordan was at his best, I still got to give it to him, man. We'll see if maybe, nobody else on this list is really still going besides LeBron. Maybe LeBron. That's the only way we can really challenge it. Maybe gets one more ring. Longevity. Just the overall stats are just that alarming. But even then, I don't care what LeBron does. There's going to be a lot of people that are still going to say Jordan. And guess what? You ain't going to be able to fully argue with them because Jordan is that fucking good. He's that good. He's that good. My God. That turnaround Jay. Even like with the Wizards, he was shooting a very low percentage, but that was all because he didn't have the same explosion. He wasn't really in it. But if you look at his numbers on like turnaround fadeaways, he was fucking butter. He was still fucking amazing. Dude had the softest touch. Could never really shoot threes. That was like his only weakness. But they didn't even really shoot threes back then. Doesn't mean I think he would have been a great or good three-point shooter, but you can't hold it against him that much because it's not like they stepped on the court like, damn, dude, Jordan can't shoot threes. Because it would have been like, who cares? Nobody really shoots that many, and Jordan's going to destroy you in the mid-range and with his fucking craftiness. Underrated as a passer, too, and he had to be. A lot of people don't give him enough credit there. Now, of course, at the beginning of his career, he didn't pass the ball a lot, and later on, he'd move it, but not on the level of elite. But he had to play point guard for a while. I forget which season, and he was racking up the assists. A guy that'll do a little bit of everything for you, and do it with just ease. Ease. Bitch, please. Bring me that Michael Jordan ease. And that's the word we'll end on. Ease. Because that's what Jordan did with. That is the top 10 best basketball players of all time to me. In order. Counting down from worst to best. Not my favorites, but who I think is the best. Objectively. As well as I can separate myself. Yeah. Enjoy that. I hope. Random, I know. Different Top 5 Thursday. Hope y'all like sports, because that's what's coming at you. Thank you again, Jacob. You just, god dang it, man. Just keep picking your top 5s, dude. I need to start spreading it around, right? Maybe don't comment for a few weeks. Just kidding. Hey, if you got the best one every week to me, then it's going to get picked. Is what it is. I appreciate it, though, man. And I appreciate all y'all for tuning in. And keep commenting. Somebody's got to knock Jacob off this high horse, man. He's on a roll. Jesus. Y'all have a good one, man. I love y'all. Seriously. And let me know y'all's favorite basketball players or football players. This is the one time we can talk all fucking sports, damn it. Enjoy it. Get with it. See y'all.